Hey guys, my name is Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. I am sharing a DIY video with you today, and I'm so excited because it's been a really long time since I've had a chance to film a DIY video. But most of the projects today I had to get ready for a tent sale that my antique shop had a few weeks ago, and I needed to get some new inventory ready. So I'm just going to jump right into my projects today. First up, I have this little white stool that I got at an auction recently. I think I just paid a couple dollars for this. So I'm just going to make it a little bit more French country by painting the seat of it this nice cactus green from Dixie Belle. This is one of their silk paint colors. I've used it in the past, and I especially love it because it has the primer and the sealer built in. So it just saves me a ton of time to not have to do those extra steps of priming and sealing it when I'm done. So I've really been enjoying the silk paint, and you can get that on my Etsy shop if you need it. And then I'm just going to use some of my Iron Orchid design transfers to really make this a little bit more custom. This is from the set that I am blanking on the name of, but I will pop the word up right here. I haven't used the white ones before, but I use them a lot in this video, and they came out really, really nice. I've only used the black versions of these transfers before. But the whites, they finally worked out for me. I figured out a way that I like to use them, and they looked so cute on this green piece, and then I use them in a future project also to share with you. The transfers are so easy to use. You just have to apply a lot of pressure. And this was a super quick way to just give this stool some character and make it a little bit more of a statement piece. Up next, I'm going to be upcycling these glass frames. I think they're probably doors from a Hoosier cabinet or some kind of hutch. The one on the right is a little bit of darker wood. It's missing its handles. The one on the left is a little bit brighter. So I'm going to go two different directions with these. I think the one on the left I'm going to turn into a framed poster. And then the one, and I'm probably going to attach a wreath to it. The one on the right I'm going to turn into a sign that looks like an antique chalkboard. And then I'll either also do a wreath on that one because that does sell well for me, or I will attach some kind of word or something. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to finish that one, but I do know I want to paint it to look like a chalkboard. I'm not going to do actual chalkboard paint, so it's not going to be something you can write on, but I'm going to give it the black matte chalk paint look and turn it into some kind of hanging decor. So that is my plan for these guys. Hopefully this isn't going to take long because I am down to the wire, but let's get started on these. Now I found that the trick to painting on glass really well is to make sure you let each coat dry super, super well. Even if you think it's dry, give it even a little bit extra time. Do nice thin coats. It took me about 3 coats of black chalk paint to get a nice thick coat on this glass without pulling back up the other layer. I've done that so many times where I try to rush it. Also, spray paint works really well on glass too if you don't want to take the time. If you do want to take the time to tape everything off. I just brad nailed on this wood cutout of the word welcome. That's from Hobby Lobby. It already comes in that white color. And then this wreath is from Target. and I'm just using my brad nailer again to attach this. I'm not putting like a ribbon or anything, just trying to keep this a little bit more simple, and I love the way this one turned out. It does look like a chalkboard, which is what I was going for, but also just a really nice piece of wall decor. My next project is so simple. I've shared a few like this in the past, but this is my first time using the Dixie Belle transfers, and I have this like Farmhouse collection that I thought I would use on this old enamel pot. It no longer has a handle. It's just kind of this very plain white pot that I've had sitting in my inventory for a while now, just waiting to be turned into something. So all I do is start off by making sure the surface is nice and clean, and then I cut out one of these Farmhouse transfers from the Dixie Belle transfer sheet that I just got. And if you don't have transfers and you have a Cricut, you could do something similar to this with your Cricut and just use vinyl. I've done that in the past as well, and it also works really well. So all I'm doing is just applying a lot of pressure here and putting that transfer right on the center of this pot. This is the On the Farm transfer. So it has a variety of different farmhouse animals, and even like some cotton stems and some barns and a truck. And so there's a lot of different pieces in this one that you can cut up and use in a variety of ways. We've put some on furniture now, and I've made some signs with them as well. So very easy to use, very similar to the ironwork designs. We haven't seen a barn one though before, so that one was fun for my mom to put on a piece of furniture. That turned out really nice. So lots of options with all of these transfers. And once I had this one on there, I just decided I would put some greenery in there, and that this would end up being maybe a piece of decor that someone could put on their porch or on their shelf. But I really was envisioning this on a porch, like sitting on an antique chair or something, just to bring some character and some greenery to your porch decoration. And moving right along, I also had this old antique cabinet door. I had two of these at one point, and I sold one, well over a year ago. This is one of those other things that's just been sitting in my inventory, waiting for me to do something with it. So I'm doing exactly what I did with my last one, which is just attach a wreath and then just kind of turn this into another piece of hanging wall decor. These are the types of items that sell really well for me. If I was to try to sell the antique door on its own, just plain in my booth, it would never sell. It would take forever at least. But once I turn it into a piece of decor, that's when it tends to sell for me, particularly in my Edwardsville shop called my Treasure House, which is where I have one of my booths. They are much more inclined to buy actual decor there. I could probably sell this door at our other antique shop, which is called 3rd Street Market, which is where we have another booth. But I just thought I would go ahead and turn this into decor for the tent sale, and that's how that turned out. And on to the next. We were just flying through the projects today. Just wanted to mention that wreath was also from Hobby Lobby on that cabinet door. So I got this humidor at a woman's house who was a big fan of mine, and she was so sweet to let me come over, and we kind of picked through her attic, and I believe this is up in her attic. So this is a humidor. It was kind of this light yellow, but the feet weren't painted yet, so I needed to give it a whole paint job so that I could make it all match. And I did really want to stick with the yellow, so I went ahead and did the Mojave color in the silk all-in-one mineral paint from Dixie Belle. I'm showing you here just kind of all the colors that I was considering. I was really kind of torn about where to go with this. So this is with 1 coat of Mojave, and they ended up doing 2 to almost 3 coats everywhere just to give it a nice finish. I don't show you myself painting all of those things, but this is what it looks like here in the end. And then from here, I decided to embellish it a little bit, make it go a little more French country. So I'm using some painter's tape to make some white stripes, and the stripes actually wrap all the way around the back of the humidor and then to the other side. So I have 3 sides here that I have to do the stripes on. And then I embellish the front doors with some with some Iron Orchid Designs transfers that I really, really love. And so I'm going to share with you that process. I think this one came out so great. It is definitely not what I thought I was going to do when I first bought it, but I love how it turned out. Okay, so I'm loving how the stripes are looking on this piece. I have a couple spots where I was a little sloppy and need to come back with the Mojave and do some touch-ups, but I'm almost there with this piece. I think I'm gonna let those stripes fully dry and just give them a really light sanding just to age them a little bit. And then I thought it would be a really good opportunity for me to use some of these transfers from Orchid Designs. This is the pack called the Traditional Pots. And I've used the black ones a lot, but there's also a sheet of white ones. So this is what the black looks like. It's a little bit easier for you to see on camera, but then there's a sheet of the same stamps that are in white. And so I'm gonna lay these, I'm trying to get you to the white page, sorry. They're all the right ones. So you can see them here. I mean, obviously we're looking at white on white, but you can kind of tell that there is a section of white ones. And I'm gonna lay them on the door front, so like right where the handles go through. I'm going to try to figure out kind of an artistic way to lay the white ones, and that's just going to bring the stripe color around to the front, add a little bit more character to the front of this piece, because I don't really want to stripe it all the way around. I did do the back though, and I think that looks really nice. So I just think that doing the little font in white on the front is going to tie it all together, and then I'm going to distress the stripes like I said, and I think I'm going to do just a light coat of white wax, maybe over the entire thing. And that's going to soften up this color and just make it a little bit more neutral, I think, so that it opens it up for a few more buyers. I'm really liking the direction it's going, though, so I'm just going to kind of keep following my gut and see how this goes. But I think that the transfers is going to be a good addition. So let's try it out. So right now I'm just kind of cutting up the transfers and trying to decide what kind of layout I want to do. These are just the ones on the bottom that I think are actually going to be the ones that I work with. And if you've watched me before, you know that I really do like to kind of mix and match the transfer they give you. So I am not opposed to kind of cutting out font from one section. I'm actually thinking about just using the font here kind of above the handle. And then down here doing this actually right behind the handle. And I think that's going to look nice and balanced. I thought about doing the angel too, but I just don't want it to be too much. So I think that if I just do the font on top and then this like entire emblem on the bottom, I think it's going to look really nice and very like French country, hopefully tie everything together. And I do think with the white wax though, it's going to be the thing that really gives it a good final look. But I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to chop these up and then just rub them right on there, and they are permanent, and then the wax that I do on top will seal everything in and it'll be ready to go. Now for this part, I cannot claim that I came up with this method because I've never seen it done before, but that's not to say there's not someone else out there doing it. But I found my favorite way to white wax now, which is to use the Dixie Belle Easy Peasy Spray Wax first, and then to use the white wax over it on one of my best dang brushes from Dixie Belle also. And just doing the spray wax first makes the white wax so easy to work with, and you kind of get to skip that phase of having to do the clear wax with your brush first and then the white wax. It makes the white wax nice and easy to go on, and it's just a lot easier on your hand because you're not working with so much of that harder wax from Dixie Belle. So I don't know, you can try this and see if you think it's any easier. All I'm doing is using the spray wax all over the surface first and then kind of spreading that out, and then I go over it with the white wax. It just seems so nice and easy, and it makes the white wax really easy to work with. I just find that it's a more simple combination than using the clear wax first and then the white wax, like I said. So try it out. Let me see if that makes it any easier for you to get something white waxed. And here's how it turns out in the end. Let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. I'm curious to hear. This Mojave color is a new one for us. I don't know that we have sold one piece in it so far. So it seems to be like a popular color, but I'm not sure about it yet. It's pretty new for us. So let me know what you think. hope you enjoyed all of today's projects. Let me know down in the comments which transformation was your favorite. And again, if you need some Dixie Belle from my Etsy site or some Iron Orchid designs from my treasure house, I will have all of that information down below in the description box for you, so you can follow those links and do some shopping if you need to. I'm happy to answer any questions down in the comments also about how I did any of these projects. And let me know if you are in the Kentucky area, the Michigan area, and possibly even the Waco area. Those are some trips I have coming up, and if you have like a favorite antique shop or vintage market to go to in those areas, I would love to hear about those, and maybe I can hit them while I'm out traveling and even make a video. So I'd love to hear some of your input there as well. I appreciate you guys watching today and spending some time with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye guys.